Bismillah here, and today I'll be showing you how I got this twist out on my type 4 natural hair. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below and let me know how you like this video. Okay, let's get to it. Mwah! Okay, so I'm starting on an old braid out from some braids I had underneath my wig. I split my hair into 4 sections, and right now I'm just misting it with warm water. So once I mist it with water, I do a little finger detangling, and then I add my leave-in, which is the Twisted Sisters Intensive Leave-In Conditioner. So I add a pretty good amount of that to the section and begin to work it all the way through. Next, I add my stimulating growth oil, but you can use any oil of your choice just to help seal in that water and that conditioner that we just put in. And I work that through the section as well. Take my wide tooth comb, start from the ends of my hair all the way up to the root, and make sure that it's thoroughly detangled before we begin to actually twist. Okay, so I take that back section and I separate that out into 2 sections and separate it one more time to where that back section is going to end up having 4 twists in it. So I use this Cream of Nature Flexible Styling Knot, and just beware folks, it has a smell to it, not even gonna lie. But I'm gonna work that through the hair and detangle, and that just kind of is gonna help have a more defined look at the end. So I split that section into 2, and I'm gonna 2-strand twist down the length of my hair. And you know, I detangle throughout the twist as well. You really want to make sure your hair is detangled when you're going through the twisting process. And then when I get to the ends, I add a little more conditioner to the ends because I want to make sure that it's really curly to really complete the twist look. And you see in the back I end up with 4 twists. So then I repeat that all throughout my hair, and I'm going to show you the front section. So I've misted it, I add my leave-in conditioner, work that through the section. I add a little more to the front because my front section ended up being a little bit larger than my back section. I take the oil to help seal in the moisture I just put in. Remember, any oil of your choice. And then I detangle from the end of my hair all the way up to the roots. So taking the section to actually begin the twist, I split this in half as well. But in the front of my hair, I do a little bit more of a neater part, because you know, I never know if I'm going to have a side part or a middle part, so whichever part I do, I just try to make sure it looks pretty straight just in case I change my mind on the styling at the end. And then I'm going to section that lower half into thirds to do my twist. So in the back I did 2 twists per row, but in the front I do 3 twists per row. So add that gel into my hair, work that through, detangle it with my brush here. Split that into 2, and then twist all the way down the hair. You want to make sure that stays detangled, so you may need to touch it up, comb through it, or brush it in the middle of that process. So once you get to the end, you twirl it around your fingers, and voila, beautiful curls. Okay, so let's look at this one more time. So I add the styling knot. I detangled the hair, that section, really thoroughly with my brush. That's a Conair brush. I split it into 2 and do a 2-strand twist down the length of the hair, and brush through to make sure that it stays detangled all the way through. And then once I get to the end of the hair, that's when you want to twirl your finger around the section, add a little cream to it, and make sure you have a nice curl. That's going to really make your hair look full when we get to the takedown process. Okay, so I ended up with 6 twists in each front quadrant, 4 twists in each back quadrant, so 20 twists overall. Alright, time for bed. So I'm back. I went to sleep. I've had this up for about 14 hours now. Just so you know, when I go to sleep, I sleep on a satin pillowcase, so I don't put any kind of bonnets on my head, and I just try to lay flat as possible and try to be aware during the night, right? Like, I don't like to sleep with my twists folded up or anything like that. They are dry. You know, that's why I only dampened them yesterday, because I wanted to make sure that it was dry the next day, and they are dry, and they're looking moisturized and juicy. So let's get to the takedown process. Okay, so I add oil to my hands, and let me tell you, oil is your friend during the takedown process. So I take the oil, I work that through, you know, half of my twists, and then I will add a little more oil to do the other side of my head. But really, when in doubt, just add oil because that's going to keep your hair from being frizzy. So I begin to unravel my hair in the opposite direction so that I could feel where the two sections start at the top, and then I just pull through. So once again, you want to unravel that so you can separate the two sections at the top and then pull all the way through. If you encounter any areas that are a little sticky, you could unravel again and then continue to pull. But during the takedown, you want to be really gentle, really slow, and make sure your hands are nice and oiled. So looking at it at the top, your two sections, pull through. If you reach any static, you unravel the hair opposite direction and just keep going. I don't wanna miss a beat. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I've taken down the twist. And now I'm going to go in and separate that out a little bit more. So once again, adding oil to my hands. You want to add as much as you can throughout the process. And then I take my hair and I begin to shake it to see where it falls apart. And I separate wherever it naturally falls apart. There are some cases where like it just doesn't want to separate because you put that snot in there. So then you can just grab it and gently pull pieces apart. But if anything is, you know, too difficult to pull apart, it probably doesn't want to separate there. So you should let that go. So this is what that section looks like once I've taken it all down. And I'll show you again in the front. So adding the oil to the hair and separating it out as gently as possible. So this is the hair fully separated. It's nice, detangled, not too frizzy, and honey, look at the definition. Yes! But there's more. I then take my pick because I'm never satisfied, and I begin to lift my hair at the roots. So I start at the scalp and pull through. And I don't pull through more than 1 or 2 inches because I definitely still want definition, but at the same time, I want volume. Okay, so that is the final look. Thanks for tuning in. Miss Mila, out. Okay, I think that was good. Almost.